to another episode of Prescription for Life. My name is Linda Golik. I'm the Health and Wellbeing Consultant in the Bellin region of Amplify Health. And I am joined today by Jamy Xiong. Jamy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for being here. So today, kind of as a little offshoot of this podcast, we are going to dig into, in 2025, telling some lifesaver stories. And we'll define that a little bit more as we go, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But Jamy, just start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and what do you do at Bellin?
Yeah, so my name is Jamy, and I'm an account executive here at Bellin in the Business and Community Health Department. And in my role, I work closely with employer partners and basically just helping them improve the lives of their population and work on creating health initiatives to just really help their health and well-being of their employees. And so it's a really exciting and rewarding job because, through that, that's how we make an impact and help thriving communities, which is one of our mission and goals. So that's basically what I do.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on for this particular segment, so when we look back at the history of the Lifesaver Wellbeing series, which is a free educational series that is accessible to anyone, both individuals and then companies and organizations use it. And the tagline that actually goes with Lifesaver is "Be you, belong, be a lifesaver." And I just wanted to define that a little bit for our audience, and then how Jamy really fits into that. So being you is really just being your own authentic self and bringing what you can to the table. It's not being artificial, but it's being authentic. The belonging piece is really huge when we look at health and well-being. And that really makes you a lifesaver in a way because you're connecting with people and having impact on people. So let's start out, Jamy. First of all, personally, what has your health and well-being journey been like?
Yeah, so for me, I kind of feel like it's been my whole life journey, I think, but really it started back in January 2019, and that was after I had both my kids, and I was just at my heaviest self, and I didn't feel the best, and I was so sick and tired of being tired, right? And it was an ongoing cycle, and I just told myself that I'm going to make a change. And I literally woke up one day, went to the local gym. I joined Experience Fitness at that time. Okay. And I looked at all the programming and I joined, and I never looked back since. And I knew I wanted to try things that were outside of my comfort zone. And I knew that I needed to make a change. And I did it all by myself, and I did a lot of research about nutrition and calculating my macros and doing cardio and weight-related workouts. And so that's how I really started. And fast forward to today, I'm still working out 5 times a week. I don't do Experience Fitness anymore, and I do Pure Barre 5 times a week. And so I'm still... It's like an ongoing journey. It's never ending. And I'm so proud of the things that I've done and learned about myself. I think if I could look back into my 2019 self, I should have told myself it's okay to reach out for help or consult with a health coach or join a structured program that can really teach me things that I didn't have to teach myself and go through things by myself. Because there's a whole community out there, right? And I'm grateful for things I learned now because I know them now, right? But, maybe if I did it back then, I could have shaved the 3 years or 4 years in between of doing it all by myself and trial and erroring, trying different things, And so I would have done that to myself back then.
So let's talk about the connection piece because I think that's really huge. And you're touching on that in the idea that the benefits of connecting to people that know things or people that can inspire you and that type of thing. And I know that I personally believe that the foundation of health and well-being and people feeling like the best versions of themselves is first, as a human being, you need to be somehow connected. And when I say connected, I mean connected to other human beings in a real way, in a way that you can just be who you are. Without any kind of disguise or any kind of mask, just be who you are.
Yeah.
So for you, what does that look like? Where are your connections? How does that help you thrive in terms of your health and well-being?
I think it definitely started with like the people I worked out with that I saw every single day. I remember back when I first started working out and I saw this guy who came, literally it seems like he came back one day, he lost a bunch of weight, right? It just happens like that, but I know it was a journey for him. And I remember we were talking before the class and I was like, how do you deal with like your hunger cues? Like, what if like you really want to eat chips, you know? And the one thing I will never forget, he was like, you know, Jamy, when I feel that way, I just really eat broccoli and carrots because it's like crunchy like chips. I'm like, but that's not it. Like, I know it's not chips, right? But he was like, you know, when you just really listen to yourself and, you know, learn the good whole foods, like you won't miss it, right? And I'm like, oh, that's so thoughtful, you know? But at that time, I was not in that mindset, right? Because I was still trying to like work out and eat whatever I want to. But that always stuck with me. And to this day, I will always remember him.
Well, it makes me think about, I worked for Weight Watchers for many years, and the magic of that was truly the groups of people getting together. It was the community vibe that was so powerful. And people knew each other, and they helped each other, and they inspired each other, and they held each other accountable, and it was just very magical in that way when I was a part of it. And so one of the things that, again, just inspires me about you is you had this fantastic idea to do something in our department, and I'm lucky enough to work in the same department as Jamy, and we have a lot of fun. And you had this idea, and so tell our audience about what you implemented and then what you've seen, like since you've implemented it.
Yeah, so what I implemented probably this past summer is we started a wellness coffee clash group. We meet every Friday at 9 a.m. and it's basically bring your coffee, bring your breakfast, and let's talk about all health and wellness things. And I just wanted to create a safe space for us to just offload our work week, offload things that we're struggling with, and just really share our personal stories of like what we're struggling with and what we're going through in a health and wellness journey. And it started because I was talking to one of my coworkers and we were just talking about our own journeys, right? And she was like, I wish like we just had a group that we can like make each other accountable, right? And I'm like, you know, we can do that. I can do that, right? We can start a group, right? And so it started that way because we make each other accountable, me and my coworker. And I'm like, and it also started because I learned so much from everyone that I talked to in our team about their own health and wellness journeys. And I would always come up with like ideas of like, hey, well, this person said this, and maybe you should connect with that person and learn what they went through, right? And I always saw connections in between conversations with everyone else. And I'm like, why don't I just create a whole space where we all could share things together and hear it firsthand from that person, right? And so that was kind of the goal of the meeting because I learned so much from everyone. And I just want to share that with everyone too, because I'm all about working smarter, not harder. And if I can learn from someone and someone's mistake and trial and error, like then I can be better and not do the same thing, right? And it's always good to just hear just real life stories of what they're going through. And one of my favorite types of conversations that goes through there is like our confession time, where we just really talk about like what we're really dealing with or like what we really want to eat or like, you know, and sometimes our conversations are really lighthearted and fun and informational. And sometimes the very deep, heartfelt conversations of, you know, things that we're struggling with personally. And so it's just a great space where we don't judge, we just listen, and people can just be who they are as a person.
And as a participant, I mean, I can honestly say it's one of my favorite parts of the week. I always enjoy it. It's always different because you just never know, like, kind of what people are going to talk about. But it's always helpful and inspirational. And again, it's just that power of connection that you so beautifully established for our group. And I think it's such a lesson for all of us and for you in the audience to kind of think about, you don't have to do some big major thing to impact the people around you. Like there are simple ways. If you're just reaching out, if you're just asking people questions, I think that's something that you're really great at. You know, you're curious with people, and you're like, oh, how do you do this? Or,
I'm just nosy. Like,
but it so works for you.
I'm just like, what are you eating at your desk? Why are you eating that? How often do you eat that? You know, so it's just funny. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, I think it's so cool. And again, it's just such a beautiful example of kind of the community. So, so you work with some of our outside business partners. And so what kind of things are they doing in terms of connection, or how have you seen them make impact, you know, on their populations? Because obviously all of us are sitting here, you're probably watching this podcast because you too want to be healthier, you want to do better, you want to make a difference. So what's some of the stuff that you've seen with your business partners that has worked?
Yeah, I mean, I am lucky to have Green Bay Packaging as one of my accounts, and I'm so grateful that we have a team there that is so invested in the health and well-being of their employees, and they invest money into like having 2 on-site clinics and wellness programs and things like that. And we have the buy-in from the leadership team, and they truly believe in that. And, you know, there are studies that show that companies who invest in every $1 they invest in wellness programs, they see a return of like $3 to $5 ROI back into the company. And I think this company does a great job of like paving that way for other companies, because we do see the return on investment. We do see happier, healthier employees and the retention. And so it's great to be a part of that journey. It's great to be at the table with them to think about these things of how we can like move the needle and generate ideas of how we can try to make an impact. And we just have to try, you know, and we just have to offer all the resources to the employees and have it there available, because when they're ready to make that change, it'll be there for them, and we'll all be there together for them, because it's definitely their decision. But just know that like they're here to support, and we're here to support them as well. So.
You know, one of the things that I think I've really seen too is that, and we can see this in lots of studies and the data, that the employers that are investing in their employees, you're going to have better employee engagement, you're going to have better retention. So in a world where people are really competing for top talent, these are the things that businesses are doing to get that top talent and to hang on to it. And of course, to have the most happy, productive employee that you can have, because that's going to benefit everyone, the organization and the employees. So that's so cool. Well, anything else that you wanted to share with our audience today? Anything we didn't talk about? Anything else you want to share?
I would say that if any one of you are listening and you're on the fence about making a change, or like asking for help, or you just don't know where to start, like it's okay to like lean in. It's okay to give up control. It's okay to not know everything and how to get started. And it's okay to ask for a health coach or go see a personal trainer and just really learn from those professionals, because that's what they're great at. And that's what I would do if I could fast forward to 2019, that's what I would have done, right? Yeah. So telling you now, don't wait, just do it. And it's okay. It's always, the first step is always the hardest, right? And it's so hard to like walk in those doors and go to your first appointment or your consultation. And it's hard to like feel really bad about yourself and just not being happy. And it's hard to be overweight, and it's hard to like eat healthy and work out, right? But you know what's harder? It's harder to like be overweight. It's harder to like lose your breath going up a flight of stairs. You know, so you got to pick and choose your hard parts and just choose the one that's going to make you better, which is work out, eat healthy, just try to be the best, healthiest version of yourself, which is easier said than done because it's so hard. It is. And it's never easy.
But do it for yourself.
Yes,
like
choose you.
You are worth it. Yes.
Yes.
We did Word of the Year.
Yes.
Just the other week. Because by the time you see this, we filmed this in early January of the new year. Yes. We did a word that we're focusing on. We each got to share a word. What was your word?
My word was grace. because
Love that.
in 2024, I already chose myself, right? That was my word of the year. I chose myself and I was going to invest in myself. And so 2024 was great. And then 2025, when I reflected on my 24 year, I was proud of myself for all the things that I've done and accomplished, but I felt like I needed to give myself more grace because I was so hard on myself and I was beating myself down in my own internal thoughts of like, oh, you should have lost more weight, or you should have did this, you shouldn't have eaten that, you should have did like better, you should have like did all these things, right? And I'm like, you know what? I need to be proud of myself for what I've done. Like, and I remember this conversation came up because I was talking to one of my coworkers. We were just doing our daily walks around Libel, and her comment was, you know, I should be losing more weight because I'm doing all these things. I'm counting my calories, and I'm in a calorie deficit. I'm working out, you know, and that gave me that idea, like, wow, we need to give ourselves more grace. We need to be better to ourselves. Yeah. Because when I look at her, she's swimming in her clothes. She needs to buy new clothes because her clothes are so loose now, you know? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And vice versa. She would say those same things to me too. And I'm just like, wow, we really need to get this whole mindset shift because maybe we have body dysmorphia and we don't see ourselves for who we really are, right? And so that's going to be my word for the year because I just need to be okay with myself and just be okay.
Yeah, and to give ourselves the credit of you are doing, look at the things you've done, look at the things you are trying to do. I mean, everybody's juggling a lot, so the grace part is just beautiful.
And what is your word?
My word is priority.
I love that.
And that really was me just in all areas of my life, just sometimes figuring out like what's the most important thing like in that moment or making better choices in terms of sometimes I should pick up a book rather than picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I should listen to an inspirational podcast, you know, rather than watch a junky TV show or whatever. Although there's lots of room for junky TV shows, but you know, sometimes like really figuring out what's the priority right now, or is the priority to pick up the phone and talk again, the connection piece. You know, pick up the phone, have a conversation with a real human being, not just sit and scroll social media. You know, all those things. So priority means a lot of different things to me. Yeah. And I'm just, when I'm in a moment of angst or stress or overwhelm, I am just saying that word to myself and saying, okay, what's the priority right now? Do I need a walk? Do I need a cupcake? Do I need
a cookie?
Do I need a cookie?
Or a chocolate, yeah.
Do I need a book? What do I need? What do I need? But,
yeah, listen to your body.
Right,
listen to yourself.
Right. So balance.
Yeah.
That's another good word, but. Well, Jamy, thanks again for being on the podcast, being our first Lifesaver Story of 2025. Jamy and I were talking about, she's like, well, I don't really save lives. And it's like, but you know what? You do. You do, because when you bring light to other people, I think you are saving lives in ways that you may not even know. So that's you, Jamy. That's you.
Thank you for believing in myself.
I do. I so believe in you.
Because I definitely don't see myself that way because it's just me being me, right?
Right, which is great.
So I appreciate you thinking of me that way.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah.
Of course.
I would love to be your lifesaver.
Yeah, be my lifesaver. Okay? You are.
But literally, we're all just trying to save ourselves, you know?
We are. And help each other.
And not drown.
Right.
Just kidding, you guys.
Well, thanks to our audience for tuning in today. Please like, subscribe, share this podcast. If you know someone in your life, or if you are listening and watching right now, and you're doing some stuff to connect with people, and you're kind of saving lives in that way, please reach out to us. We would love to hear your story. So, thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks, Jamy.
Thank you.